Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Hayya ale's-salah. Hayya ale's-salah. Hayya alel-felah. Hayya alel-felah. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. La ilahe illallah.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Nahmadullah ta'ala wa nastaghfiru wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. Wa ashhadu anna Sayyidina Muhammadan abduhu wa habibuhu wa rasuluh. Sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa azwajihi wa sahbihi tabi khulafai rashidin mahdin min ba'di. Wa zammat ala tahqiq huzza min alamati khulafa rasul ala tahqiq. Umar al-Mu'minin, Hazreti Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman wa Ali, wa ala bakri sahabi tabi'in ridwanullah ta'ala alayhim ajma'in. Ya ayyuhal mu'minul hazirun, ittaqullah ta'ala, wa innallaha ma'al ladhina taqaw alladhina hum muhsinun. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin, Sayyidina Maulana Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. All praises are due to Allah, Lord of the universes. All praises are due to Allah, who has said in the Holy Quran, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Verily Allah orders justice and good conduct and giving to relatives, and He forbids all shameful deeds and injustice and rebellion. He gives you advice so that maybe you will be reminded. Sadaqallah al-Azim. All praises are due to Allah, who has described Himself, saying, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, pride is my cloak, and greatness is my robe. Whoever competes with me in either of these, I will throw that one into the hellfire. All praises are due to Allah, who sent His Habib, Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, as the bringer of justice, the one with best manners, the mercy to the universes. May all peace and blessings be upon the Master of mankind, the intercessor of the Day of Judgment, the lamp of guidance, the seal of prophethood, the beloved of Allah, Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, and upon his noble family and blessed companions, especially upon the four Khulafa Rashidin, Hazreti Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazreti Umar al-Faruq, Hazreti Osman al-Ghani, and Hazreti Ali al-Murtaza, and all those who follow them until the last day. Ya ayyuhal mu'minun, O believers, today is the first Jummah of the month of Zul Qaida. Make intention to be from those who are going to make Hajj this year, inshallah. Make intention to be from those who are going to say, Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Whether the Kaaba is before our eyes or not, we are always in the presence of our Lord. The believer must constantly be in a state of saying, Here I am, my Lord. Here I am at your service. Inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept our intentions for this year to be counted amongst the Hajj. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Lord. Allah is supreme. Allah is self-sufficient. We are creatures. We are servants. We are in need. Our existence is dependent on Allah causing us to exist, and on Him making us to continue to exist. We are fully and utterly dependent on Allah, Rabbul Aalameen. We are passing in this world and we are temporary. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made this clear in Surah Al-Rahman when He says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, all that is on earth will perish. There will remain forever the face of your Lord, full of majesty, bounty and honor. Sadaqallah al-Azim. Everything but Allah is going to finish. Everything but Allah is going to end. Everything but Allah is going to die. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, every soul shall have a taste of death. And you will be paid on the day of judgment only that which you fairly earned. Whoever is saved from the fire and is made to enter paradise will have attained the objective of life. For the life of this world is nothing except the enjoyment of delusion. Sadaqallah al-Azim. Death is certain. Even the Jahil poets, during the time of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, in the age of ignorance, they understood this. The Holy Prophet ﷺ once said, the most truthful word ever spoken by an Arab poet is the saying of Labid, and he is one of the pre-Islamic poets, when he said, everything other than Allah is batil, vain. And in the rest of that poem, Labid says, yes, everything is vain except for Allah, and every pleasant thing must one day perish. And all the race of men, there shall surely come among them a fearful sadness which will make the fingers grow pale. And every mother's son, though his life be lengthened to the limit, comes home at last to the grave. And every man shall know one day his labor's worth, when his loss or gain is cast up on Judgment Day. Even Labid realized after writing this poem that this was an inspiration of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these words that he was inspired to write brought him to give shahadat, and he became a Muslim. Death is the promised fate of all of mankind, that no man can escape. We may distract ourselves with dunya, with our work, with our families, with our possessions, with our desires, but death will still be there waiting for us. Once the Holy Prophet ﷺ passed by a gathering where people were laughing a lot, and he said to them, disturb your gathering by remembering the spoiler of pleasures. When they asked what that was, he ﷺ replied, the spoiler of pleasures, it is death. And he explained this more, saying, never does a servant remember death during hard times, except that it became easier for him. And never does he forget it during good times, except that it becomes harder for him. Remembering death makes you understand that you are powerless over your own existence. Remembering death makes a man with faith realize that there is a life before and there is a life beyond, and it makes him prepare for that real life. And if a man is preparing himself for that real life, if a man is ready for Akhirat, then such a man is going to long to meet with his Lord, because he understands that his existence in this world is nothing but a depression, a separation, an exile from him. That time he is not in ghaflat. He is not in heedlessness, that remembering death is going to spoil his pleasure. No, he is longing for meeting his Lord after he dies. And that is the soul's pleasure. That is not the pleasure of the animal desires anymore. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said through the Hadith al-Qudsi, if my servant likes to meet me, then I like to meet him. And if he dislikes to meet me, then I dislike to meet him. Hazrat Aisha radiallahu an asked after this hadith saying, but we all dislike the idea of death. And Rasulullah ﷺ replied, it is not what you are thinking. When death comes close to the believer and he is given the news of Allah's pleasure and honor, nothing will be more pleasurable to him than what is ahead of him. So he will love to meet Allah, and Allah will love to meet him. But when death approaches the unbeliever, and he is given the news of Allah's anger and punishment, and nothing will be more disliked by him, that which is ahead of him, so he will hate to meet Allah, and Allah will hate to meet him. Now, the words of the Prophet speaks the truth. The Holy Prophet ﷺ and his companions and his family and their inheritors, they love to meet Allah. And they know the condition for that meeting is to pass through death. So they are no longer afraid of it. Soon before Holy Prophet ﷺ passed from this world, he went to visit Jannatul Baqi with Hazrat Abu Muwayhiba, and he said to him, I was given a choice to have power over this world and live in it forever, and then to go to paradise, or to meet my Lord now and be granted paradise after that. The Sahabi asked, may my mother and father be sacrificed for you. Please choose control over this world and to live in this world forever and then to go to paradise. And Holy Prophet ﷺ replied, no, Ya Abu Muwayhiba, I swear by Allah that I have chosen to meet my Lord now and be granted paradise after. Holy Prophet ﷺ, he is the Sultan of the universes. But he had the choice to openly become the ruler of the earth for all of eternity. Instead, he chose Allah, and by doing that, he left his sunnah forever for the believers, showing the ultimate desire is Allah. It is not this dunya. The disbelievers are opposite. The tyrants are opposite. The oppressors are opposite. The zalims, they want to live in this world forever. And they hate even the mention of death. In fact, to most, death has become a taboo. That when you mention death, even if they are religious, they say, may God forbid. Tawbah, astaghfirullah. Allah forbidding death. Because you have become a tyrant. Because the tyrant has become so much in love with this dunya, has become so much a slave of his shaitan and ego that he thinks himself an ilah. He thinks that death will never touch him and that he will live forever. But everyone understands what a suffering this world is. And everyone who wants to live forever, they want to live forever in this world. They're not preparing to live forever in paradise. They're not preparing to live forever with their Lord. They're preparing to live forever in this world that is the lowest of the low, that is filled with suffering. He looks at his attendants, those Firauns, those Zalims, those tyrants, at his slaves, at his palaces, at his gold, at his influence, and the politicians in his pockets, at his cars, at his jets, at the people that are fawning over him. And he says, I am Allah. I have the power. I have the greatness. I can send someone to death and I can give that one life. This is the way of tyrants from the beginning of time. Look at Namrud. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, haven't you seen the one who argued with Ibrahim about his Lord because Allah had granted him power? Ibrahim said, my Lord is he who gives life and gives death. That one said, I give life and death. Ibrahim said, indeed, Allah causes the sun to rise in the east. So you bring it up from the West. Then the disbeliever was overwhelmed by astonishment. And Allah does not guide the zalim people. Sadaqallahu azim. Look at the subtlety of Allah. He does not even mention Nimrud's name in the Holy Quran. Just saying that one. Nimrud was challenging Allah. And although Allah was mentioning the mosquitoes that defeated Nimrud, He did not even mention Nimrud. Firaun was claiming lordship. The Holy Quran is telling us about Firaun. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. He said, I am your Lord most high. So Allah did punish him and made an example of him in the hereafter as in this life. Verily in this is a lesson for whoever would fear Allah. Sadaqallahu azim. Look at the Qawmul Ad, the people of Ad, who challenged Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when they said, who is mightier than us in strength? And Allah is saying, don't they see that Allah who created them was mightier in strength than them? And they used to deny our signs. Look at the people of Lut who challenged Allah and said, mocking Lut alayhi salam and saying, bring Allah's punishment on us if you are one of the truthful. Look at Abraha who came with an army of elephants to destroy the Kaaba and said to Holy Prophet ﷺ's grandfather, your Lord cannot defend his Kaaba from me. How did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deal with them? Did He Jalla wa'ala prepare an army of angels to come down and destroy them? Did He send Hazrati Jibrail and Hazrati Mikail and Azrail and Israfil to wear armor and to gird themselves with sword and defend the honor of Allah? Did He Jalla wa'ala send an army of prophets and awliya to destroy these zalims? No. For Nimrud, it was an army of mosquitoes. And one mosquito that went inside the ear of Nimrud and ate his brain and drove him to madness. For Firaun, it was one cane. One wooden cane brought down an entire kingdom and his rulership. For Ad, a freezing cold wind. For the people of Lut, a rain of burning hot rocks. For Abraha, little ababil birds that destroyed him and his armies. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not care about the tyrants. He is not even showing His might with the tyrants. He is showing the power of what He has created. And that power, rocks, mosquitoes, wind, it is still the power of this world. Not the power of the universes, not the power of the heavens, not the power of His throne. They have forgotten Allah. So Allah has made them lost and forgotten. He is warning us in the Quran Karim saying, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and do not be like those who forgot Allah. So He made them forget themselves. Such are the evildoers. There is a painful torment for those who rebel against Allah. And there is a disaster waiting for those who rebel and are enemies of the beloveds of Allah, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised the Holy Prophet ﷺ, saying, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Allah will protect you from men. And in another hadith it is said, I will take revenge for my friends, like the revenge of a ferocious fighting lion. This has also proven true in history. Look at the enemy of Rasulullah ﷺ, Abu Jahl, the one who was so prideful of himself, of his wealth, of his intelligence. He is forever only remembered as the father of ignorance, because he was ignorant about his Lord, he was ignorant about his Prophet, and he was ignorant about himself. He was so proud, so arrogant, so challenging. What was his end? He was brought down from his horse in the battle of Badr by two small children. And his life was ended by Hazrati Abdullah ibn Masud, whom he had mocked and beaten. When Abdullah ibn Masud, Hazrat, he had recited Quran in front of the Kaaba, it hit him so hard that his ear tore from his face. And how did Abu Lahab, the father of fire, die. Both of them, they are relatives of the Prophet ﷺ. He died of smallpox, and his body was in such a bad condition that his sons led him to rot for days. The friends of Allah, the awliya Allah, they do not seek revenge. Neither do the prophets. But Allah takes revenge on their behalf, and that revenge is raining down on them. Shaykh Maulana is saying, O followers of Fir'auns and Namruds, beware. Just approaching to you heavenly revenge. You don't understand it till reaching to you. He is saying, keep divine discipline. Otherwise, you will become a target for divine revenge. Whoever does something forbidden will be hit by an arrow of revenge. Nowadays, there are cameras put up by the government to catch criminals. In the same way, Allah is waiting with His arrows of revenge to catch you, like in the old films where there were scenes of arrows raining down on the enemy. Those arrows of divine vengeance, they have started to fall. They've started to rain down on this world. We are murids of SahibulSaif, Shaykh Abdulkerim, Rabbani, SahibulSaif. We sat with him. We know who his enemies are. We know who the ones who are plotting against him. We know who are the ones who are planning to kill him. We know who are the ones who are trying to destroy him. And we are seeing that the divine arrows of revenge are hitting those enemies one by one. The enemies of SahibulSaif should beware and know the arrows of divine justice are also coming for them. Our Shaykh passed 7 years ago, and the power from behind the mantle of Kaf is manifesting more and more. Zalims, oppressors, they should run to do tawbah before it is too late, because there is no safety for the oppressors. O believers, we should look into ourselves, and we should look to see very clearly and very carefully where tyranny is living in our hearts. We must take it out. We must look into our hearts and see where is the Firaun that is living in us? Where is the Namrud that is living in us? What are our actions that is showing that it is inheriting from Abu Lahab and Abu Jahil? We must take them out. Otherwise, our home in the hereafter will be the home of the tyrants. We will share their homes. Holy Prophet ﷺ said, verily there is a valley in hell called Hub, in which every tyrant will reside. Every tyrant, he will stay in that valley in hell. Therefore, beware that you don't become one of them. O believers, a new chapter of the history of mankind is about to open. Our Shaykh has called it the beginning of a new era. Be ready for that, because Haq and Batil will be separated in this new era. We must know what side we are on. Shaykh Efendi is giving the news of this time, saying there is no power over La ilaha illallah. There is no power over the power of Allah. All other powers that are standing, they are fake. They are going to become to pieces soon, sooner than soon. That's why Shaitan is running top speed from every angle, knowing that the end is coming to him and to those he is helping. And he is trying his last chances, but no chance for him. No chance, because Allah has promised to the believers, Allah has promised to the believers, saying, be patient now, sit and wait. The day will come that Allah will take revenge on them. We are approaching those days, and we are watching the hadith of Rasulullah ﷺ, and we are very happy about it. He is saying Islam began strange and is going to end strange. Blessings and protection to the strangers, especially those who are going to come in the Akhir Zaman, in the end of times. That news is for the people who are living now, because we are in the second Jahiliyyah time, and we are almost at the end of that Jahiliyyah too. The good news is that the protector is waiting to appear, inshallah Rahman. We must be looking forward to that. Are we ready for that? Are we ready to leave our mothers? Or are we ready to leave our fathers? Are we ready to leave our wives? Are we ready to leave our husbands? Are we ready to leave our children? You must search in yourself. You must look into yourself, because Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, those who are going to reach to those difficult days, when entering through that door, a difficult test is going to be waiting for them too. The Sahaba Kiram have been tested. They have been tested with their lives and with everything that they had, and they have been tested and they passed. And Allah is warning us, saying to us, do you think that you're going to enter into the same paradises with those ones without going through the same tests that they went through? Do you think so? Think again. Ya Rabbi, we are asking you not to test us. But if you test us, we're asking you to make us to be prepared and to pass the test. We're asking you not to keep us with the zalims. We're asking you not to count us as zalims. We're asking you, for the sake of the ones you love, to keep us with them, to keep us with our Shaykh. We're asking protection from the fitna of Dajjal. We're asking to reach to be with the protector, to be with Mahdi alayhi salam. Amin. Amin. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah al-azim al-azim. La ilaha illa wa al-hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilayh. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu, lahul mulku wa hamdu min shay'in qadir. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu, lahul mulku wa hamdu min shay'in qadir. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu, lahul mulku wa hamdu min shay'in qadir. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. Subhan qudusun rabbuna rabbul malaikati war ruh. Subhan qudusun rabbuna rabbul malaikati war ruh. Subhan qudusun rabbuna rabbul malaikati war ruh. Inna dina inna Allah al-Islam. Qam salah. Amin. Bismillah.
Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah, eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah, eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Hayya alel-selah, hayya alel-selah, hayya alel-felah, hayya alel-felah. Ve digame salatu, ve digame salallahu ekber, Allahu Ekber, la ilahe illallah.
Sayın ve Allah'ın Muhammed Resulullah.